your environment, your
Yep.
experience, and your exposure.
Yep.
Those three things dictate who you become.
Mm-hmm.
So at home, that child is being impressed upon
Mm-hmm.
and influenced by what? Their environment,
Yeah.
their experiences, and their exposure. I had a mentee once tell me, you create your habits, then your habits create you.
Welcome to Mental Shampoo with your host, Kimar Cain. Join me as we explore life's big questions, the unique perspectives of intriguing creators and artists. You're ready to unravel the art of living right here on Mental Shampoo. Yo, what's happening, man? It's Kimar Cain coming to you all the way live, your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. Y'all been tapping in and been staying wrapped in with your boy on season 3 of Mental Shampoo. I've been having a great time with some amazing guests that have been falling through. And I hope that y'all been gaining a lot of different mental clarity from this shampoo that we've been giving you. But I have another amazing guest right here today. Y'all know we've been talking about artists and their art. And so today, we're going to talk about the art of mentorship. And I have an amazing guest with me today, my good brother Bennie Foster. What it do, man?
Salute, man.
Salute. Yes, yes.
I got to do this again. Hold on. The Mental Shampoo.
Lather it up.
Awesome name, bro.
Thank you, my brother.
Glad to be here. Honor and pleasure.
Just happy to have you here. It's something that we oftentimes talk about just off camera, offline, brother to brother. There's just the importance of mentorship. And you actually had some skin in the game for quite a long time.
Yes.
But I want you to, just kind of elaborate more on who you are and how did you even, get into mentorship in the first place?
Well, first and foremost, mentorship saved my life.
Yes.
Mentorship literally saved my life. As an athlete, coaches, teachers, seeing something in me that I didn't see throughout the years. Now looking back as a 56-year-old man, coming back to Jackson, Mississippi for maybe going on 3 years, I've realized that I missed a lot of carnage, missed a lot of chaos. I missed some jail sentences, some drugs, some gang activity because of mentorship. And so mentorship literally did save my life, put me on the right path, bumped me when I was going on the wrong path. And throughout the years now, for about 35 plus years, I've been concentrating my efforts for mentorship at home, in education, with business, as well as the community, because that's like what we call the diamond life perspective, like a baseball diamond.
Let's rap more about like the diamond life perspective. Like, how did that come about? What does that mean per se? And, I can resonate with that. You know what I mean? Being able to be saved in a sense. And like these people that may be engaged with a certain activity, I call them like my guardian angel, if you would. I had an opportunity to sell drugs. I had opportunities to be a part of gang activity. You know what I mean? I had a chance to just do some dumb shit, right? Yeah. But it's like these people were my guardian angels, and it saved me in a sense from myself. So let's talk about, the diamond life perspective and what that means, and what do you want others to gain from that?
Unshameless plug. We do have the book that will be. Actually, people say drop, but I say launch.
There you go.
The book will be launched.
I like that. Elevation.
Coming in about the next 30, 45 days, man. So y'all stay tuned for that.
Yes, Lord.
It's called The Diamond Life Perspective, Igniting the Power, Impact, and Influence of Mentorship. And so when we think of the diamond life, think of a baseball diamond.
Yep.
And let's choose the name, say Lil Johnny.
Okay.
Right? First place, Johnny experiences, organized, synergy, energy of anything is at his home. If that home is dysfunctional, then he is now dysfunctional.
For sure.
So he goes to school, and it's either going to be fight or flight.
Okay.
He's either going to fight to get out of that dysfunction, or he is going to run to anything and everything that will now make him be disruptive in the next organized place that he go, which is school. Every individual, every person leaves home and go to school. School is the next organized place that we go as a human being. If that is dysfunctional, how can you be prepared for the workplace?
Okay.
Don't work, don't eat.
Yeah.
Or you don't eat as well as others because of that education that you put.
Yes.
Now, don't get it twisted. You can go to the 8th grade and learn how to read and write and become a carpenter.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not. I'm not pressing. I'm not pushing post education on anybody. I'm not pushing college on anyone because some people think it's college, military, or else. No, there are life skills out here, trades out here,
opportunities,
other opportunities, brokering, affiliate marketing, all these things that we don't share with our children. So if you can't be in a functional home, and then you go and create to a dysfunctional school setting, and now you're going and being dysfunctional in the workplace, how can you be a productive citizen in what third base is, which is the community? So it's home.
Wow.
First plate is school. Second plate is the workforce. Third base is community. And then you're supposed to come home, get your rest, and go back out and do it again. And here's the interesting caveat to that, right? In school, we're being prepared for work.
Yes.
We have co-students, then we have co-workers.
Yes.
We have a manager, we have a teacher, then we have a manager.
Correct.
And then we have a supervisor and we have a principal.
Yep.
So all of that is designed to prepare you for school. And if you're bucking and rebelling in the school, it's going to be pretty hard for you to go work anywhere where that's going to be co-workers that you got to interact with.
Wow. How important is it to, beautiful breakdown, by the way. How important is it to be in a functional environment outside of being a great citizen to all these places that you mentioned? But what does that do for the personal self? Because it sounds like more of being of service to everybody on the outside of you, but being in these functional spaces, what does that mean for the person that's actually in these spaces?
Well, we are kind of like involuntary learners to a certain degree. We got this thing called the 3 E's. Your environment, your experience, and your exposure. Those 3 things dictate who you become. So at home, that child is being impressed upon and influenced by what? Their environment, their experiences, and their exposure. I had a mentee once tell me, you create your habits, then your habits create you. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And then, so you think about it. Joe the crackhead wasn't always Joe the crackhead.
Facts.
He was little Joe, stayed down the street. He had low self-esteem issues. One day somebody influenced him to try crack, and that's where he found his escape route. He's escaping when he tries crack. But now years later, because he's now dependent upon it, now that crack riddles his life because he can't get a balance. He can't get his balance back because that is a drug going into his system that alters his mental. So we need some mental shampoo. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, how do we now say that at home a kid didn't get everything that they need? See, it's either the absence of love or the presence of love that makes a person. Whether there's not enough or whether there was enough.
Yes.
That's what makes a person at the end of the day.
Yes.
Whether a kid felt like he was loved, will you stay in a relationship that you don't feel like you were loved in?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Right? So think of a child that feels like they're not being loved all the way till they get to a situation in a game and say, hey, boy, we love you. You like family. That's what draws them in. So anywhere that we feel love, anywhere we feel joy, anywhere we feel happiness, from the 3 things, again, our environment, our experience, and our exposure, that's going to create a sense of belonging or a sense of persona, ego in us if we can elaborate on those things and grow those things and feel those feelings.
Okay. We cooking. So let's dive more into Bennie Foster's story. You know what I mean? Your first mentor, who was it?
First mentor that I can identify with would be a coach, Tyree Macbeth, Jackson, Mississippi, Callaway High. I'm sorry, I didn't say Jackson State. Callaway High School, Jackson, Mississippi. He was my track coach. Saw something in me, 9th, 10th grade. He said, hey, you probably be good at stepping them hurdles and high jumping and long jumping. And he pulled me in. He wouldn't let me quit.
Did you try to quit?
Yeah.
Why?
It was hard. I'm 6 foot 2.5 at that time. I think I'm like 6'3", 6'3.5" now, and I was like, 188 pounds of steel and what? Pure student athlete. You know what I'm saying? I had all of the ability, but I didn't have the technique. And so he was trying to teach me the technique, and I was getting frustrated because I felt like I was missing out on everything with everybody going to the parties and hanging out. At this point, the gangs had came, and they was wearing the colors, and they was stacking, and they was doing all that. Right around the time I was in high school, NWA came out. NWA came out.
Straight out of Jackson.
I got nervous when that song came out.
Really?
Why? I thought it was going to cause problems.
Take me back. Like when that dropped, what was going on?
The video and everything, you on some MTV. You wait till the video drop. You can't just say new video drop and everybody go on their phone. You have to wait. And when they showed it, if you look at that video even today, And think about nobody was speaking out like that in
Facts.
music till they did that.
Yeah.
So that made everybody think that the police is going to be upset and angry and ticked off and on edge because they are saying, F the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know if I can say that on here.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. They were saying fuck the police. And so it was so crazy because, again, I'm a child.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like these guys are like when it's all black. And then you see people walking down the street with the boom box and they playing it. You know, you hear it in the cars and all that. I'm like, what's going to happen? So I was a little nervous. I'm being honest. I can remember those feelings.
Love that. Appreciate the honesty. So tell me more about your coach. You know,
Coach Tyree Macbeth.
What is something...
Rest in power, by the way.
Rest in power. What was something that he said that stuck to you outside of teaching you like technique and fundamentals? What is something that he taught you like personally that sticks with you till this day?
So I don't just say mentorship saved my life just to say it.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident my 12th grade year where I was jumped by a gang.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, my coach had saw me walking down the hallway with some guys that were affiliated with the other gang. I wasn't in a gang. I just knew everybody. I was an athlete, basketball, track star, you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
People speaking. One guy tells me, hey, don't speak to that guy no more. I'm like, man, you ain't my daddy. You know, I'm senior, man. I'm living my best life. About to get up out of here. You don't tell me who to speak to, man. My dad don't even tell me who to speak to. You know, oh, yeah, what you say? I said, man, I speak to everybody. I walked off, right? And my coach said, come here. He said, Foster, you're hanging out with the wrong people. He said, you got to watch who you hang around, right? 2 weeks later, they got me at the port. They got me. They got me, Brother Cain. They got me. About 7 of them jumped me. They jumped me. They held me down. They kicked me in my eyes. I was blinded for 3 days.
Word.
So the gang member that was over my neighborhood at that point had no idea who he was. Actually came to my house and told my mama he was one of my friends. And I looked up, and the biggest gang leader of Jackson at that point was sitting in my living room while I'm there with a patch on my eye, saying, do you want us to get him? You our neighborhood. We got to take care of each other. So I actually was being recruited at that point to be pulled in, and the coach had just came and talked to me the day before and checked on me. My track coach. Not my basketball coach, my track coach. And I was trying to be the best basketball player I can be. I didn't realize track would change the trajectory of my life by gaining a track scholarship to Jackson State University. So Coach Tyree Macbeth talked to me and said, no matter what you do, don't retaliate. He said, all that's going to happen is somebody's going to get hurt that you care about or somebody else that has nothing to do with this. So when the gang member came, the next day, sitting in my house, had all cocked to whatever side. You know, I'm just trying not to implicate anybody right now. I don't know if statute of limitations up. But at the end of the day, he said, we can go get him, man. We can go get him today. You want to move on? What you want to do? I said, nope. Because somebody going to get hurt. That ain't got nothing to do with it. And so that instilling in me that phrase, that comeback, that response for when the trouble came showed me even back then I need to listen to this guy. I need to listen to this guy. He's saying some things to me that make sense. Other teachers along the way. Other people that my dad or mom knew that were in sports, and they would say, hey, let me know if you need any help with you coming out the blocks, or, you know, just people along the way who are older than you that has the wisdom to impart in you something that makes you better at what you're currently going through. That's all a mentor is. A lot of people want to make it into programs and this, that, and the third. Find something that you love. Say you go golfing. Include five young men and show them how to putt. That's mentorship. Find something that you love in your life as a mentor and include mentees.
And it's really that simple.
And it's not just a one-way street. We learn from the mentees.
For sure.
One of my mentees years ago, he was in a rap group. I was managing this rap group, right? Young men, 3 brothers, right? One of them say, only that which is beneath you can pull you down. Say, what? He said, yeah. He was the quiet one. So I said, only what's beneath you can pull you down. Like, man, you need to put that in a song or something.
Yes, sir.
But it helped me. So it helped me as a grown man going through life saying, only that which is beneath you can pull you down. So if something is pulling me down the street, I mean, true story. Today, I had a situation. I don't know if I should even share this, but I think I hit something on the highway. I don't know what kind of animal it was. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
And one guy pulled up to the light. He did this to me. Like, good job for hitting the animal, right?
Yeah.
Then I go down, I turn around over there by 55 at Northside, and another guy in a U-Haul truck, So I saw him pull up, right?
Yeah.
And pull into the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago, me would have pulled into the same gas station.
Yeah.
Just to wait to see if I can get some eye contact or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the new me today knows that only which is beneath me can pull me down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
sir.
I got one guy rooting me. I got another guy saying, you're an a-hole or what. I don't know what it was about. I could have been standing at the light too long.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, I've been in one of those incidents where they trying to speed past you and block you out. Next thing you know, you trying to speed and get ahead of somebody, and you ain't trying to go that fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's something in us that we have to learn how to turn off, and that comes from elders teaching us, older people, wisdom, teaching us. See, I'm what they call a polymath.
Okay.
I've been good at music.
Okay.
I've been good at teaching. I've been good at mentorship. I've been good at logistics, trade, and skill. I've been good at consulting. I've been good at affiliate marketing. I got 6, 7 revenue streams right now that I'm working on that I make money for my family.
Nice.
People will tell you, stick to a path.
Yeah.
That don't work for everybody.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they called us Renaissance men.
Yeah.
So I'm fluent in several, I guess I say, business languages.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps me now acquire the things I need to acquire to do the mentorship that I'm doing in several states right now.
Man, congratulations, first and foremost. Because I do believe that mentorship is sort of a lost art. But the way that you just put it, it's like find something that you love, all right? Bring some young brothers together and teach them the fundamentals and techniques that you learned about the game or whatever is going on.
You'll never know what that'll do for them.
Man, and it's, thinking about it, it really is that simple. I was in the classroom. I taught
You taught before too, right?
Yes. I taught, first year was elementary, and I figured out, you know what? I don't want the babies. Give me the high schoolers.
I started out with pre-K.
Yeah, I'm like, I need the big kids. And so teaching 9th and 10th grade, and being around these young men, because I ran from education for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for one, I was making some real money, and I'm like, if I go down here to teaching, I ain't gonna be making no real money like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
So the money was a part of it. And then it's like kids today are just different. It's like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit of uncertainty there,
Mm-hmm.
But when I got in there, I was being pulled to it. I feel like Spirit was pulling me toward it. And then I saw reasons as to why, you know what I mean, I was teaching.
Yeah.
And that became a piece of it. A lot of them young men did not have the mentor or the cool teacher, if you would, to just be there. A lot of times I didn't even necessarily have to teach per se. And then same thing like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Some of them kids taught me some stuff.
Just walking through the hall
Just
sometimes.
walking
They
through
just
the
need to
hall.
see you.
They
They
just
need
get-
to see you in the building.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Exactly.
all right, that pulled at my heartstrings. Although I don't teach no more, I do still miss my kids, and I do
Me
want
too,
to,
man.
and I want to get more involved with, and I will with the young brothers, because I saw how, in some cases, the principal couldn't deal with a certain young man. In a lot of cases, the teachers couldn't deal with a certain young man
Exactly.
or young men.
Exactly.
And they would send them, go to Mr. Cain room.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be in the back of my room like, you know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Chill out, do your work. And at the end of the class, come up and talk to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shoot the breeze. And they have
That
a
made
good
their
day.
day.
Made their day.
Made their day.
And I think a lot of, going back to, I think a lot of people are were more willing to listen to elders back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a hell of a gap. It's not a lot of intergenerational relationships happening these days.
Yeah.
So it's like closing that gap, and then also the younger generation. From what I've seen, a lot of them are not easily willing or more willing to actually listen to elders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we fix that? Is mentorship like a lost art? Although that's simple, is it easy to do?
It's again, the structure is simply training or teaching. The Vision for Open House Vision, which is our 501c3, is to create several houses around the nation to
Yeah.
where it's like a mix between, say, Boy Scout, Girl Scouts, a hybrid with economics and shop in there to where, say, just imagine you pull up to a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pull up to a house, you may see some young ladies doing hopscotch, jumping rope. You may see some young men over learning how to be under a car, and changing the oil.
Mm-hmm.
You come up on the porch, they're learning how to play chess. You walk in one room, they're in a reading room. Maybe they're reading to some younger kids. You look in the kitchen, they're in there baking. Someone's showing them how to properly bake something. You go around the back, there's a garden, all of these things that I was taught growing up by my mom, my dad, my uncles, my aunts, that now are still skills that I can use today. A lot of those kids don't know how to do that.
Facts.
A lot of kids don't know how to read. I pull this out all the time. A lot of kids don't even know how to read this, a tape measure.
Yeah.
They don't know how to read a tape measure, but I made a lot of money off knowing how to read a tape measure, even though I didn't, quote unquote, do the physical work, but being able to go be a project manager.
Yes.
You understand?
That's
and
fine.
so the intelligence, there's this saying, you cannot judge the ability of a fish to swim from its inability to climb a tree.
Mm-hmm.
So these young people that we're testing just to pass the test, we're telling them that you're not a fish because you can't climb the tree.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't put them in their element yet. Again, the 3 E's, your environment, your experience, your exposure. If you change those 3 things in a kid's life, you will change their life because you're exposing them to something other than the 2 square miles that they may stay in going from home to school.
There you go.
I literally had a group of kids in Atlanta. No joke. Shout out to Isom Loma with the Athlete's Foot. He owns several Athlete's Foots in Atlanta. Bought a van, gave me the key, put me on payroll, and we had a youth program called Dare to Dream for 5 years, right?
Okay.
There was a group of young men that stayed right by Braves Stadium when it was near downtown, not out in the other areas in now. They call it the Sun something center now, where it is now over near Cobb somewhere.
Okay.
But it was downtown, okay? Those young men stayed on the street over from the stadium and had never been to a Braves game.
Really?
They could hear the cheering. They could see the people parking in the neighborhood, walking to the game with the Braves gear on. So we literally took them to a Braves game, and you would have thought, man, that they had died and went to heaven. Man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Right across the street.
No, right, like their street, you can park on their street, and you can walk up, and there was the stadium.
And never
they stayed
been to
one
a
street
Braves
over,
game.
had never been there, stayed there for 4 or 5 years, had never been to a Braves game.
Wow, man. Wow.
So he'll do stuff like give me the credit card, man. So, mentorship is not just about you. It's about people that will see your vision. Because when I met him, I talked to him. He knew what I was doing. I was already doing. I was doing it out of my own pocket. I was a teacher at the time. And I said, well, what do you want? He said, I want to create my own program. He said, you think with me being a teacher, we can create a lesson plan out of anything.
For sure.
So the master's in education has done me well, though I don't teach in a public school. I create my own programs. We had a salute boot camp challenge, a 3-hour boot camp where the kids come and their life change in 3 hours because they realize it's something bigger than life, and we go in and give them like a mental shampoo.
Is that a one-day thing?
It's a one-day thing, but
Okay.
the follow-up mentorship is forever. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
They be wanting to come back the next day because it's challenging, mind-shaking, mind-altering activities that they go through. They do a scavenger hunt. They do the obstacle course of life. They do various different things that make them think differently. And then we hear back. By the time we get to the lunch, they open. They talking. They telling us everything, their hurts, their pain, their vision.
Spend time with them.
Their object. Yeah. And then they can call or text, or I show up at their school or at their house with the parents' permission, And so at the end of the day, that's one. Then we do toolbox trading skills in agriculture, where kids just planted some okra, some kale, some red onions, some cucumbers, and there's one more I think I'm forgetting. But they literally planted this, and now we've been sending pictures to them and the parents, showing them the growth of those last month.
Nice.
And we have a camping and fishing trip coming up called Fish Tales.
Okay.
That's all night.
Yeah.
We're getting there at 3, leaving at 11 the next day. They're going to camp. They're going to hike. They're going to do the scavenger hunt. We're going to show them how to clean the fish. We're going to do the campfire thing, everything.
That is fire.
And again, the environment. We're changing the environment. We're changing the experience, and we're exposing them to something new. I promise you, man, I'm not just boosting my own program because...
Nah, please boost it.
The thing is, some kids have never been on a farm.
Facts. You know what, bro? I don't think that's like, I grew up in Natchez.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alcorn State University is like right up the street.
Alcorn is big on agriculture.
Big on agriculture. They had summertime programs to where I used to go up there when I was a youngin', and we would pick like blueberries and different produce.
It's an experience nobody can take from you.
It's an experience nobody can take away from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very healing, I think so as well, like because
it's somewhat therapeutic.
It's very much therapeutic. And you don't really know that until like in hindsight. I didn't even know that as a kid, but even at that moment I was having fun, like learning about the land, learning about the produce, learning that this is a healthy food, then learning how blueberries are brain food, like.
Mm-hmm.
But then in hindsight, being an adult, it's like, man, that was, you got to go back to like childlike experiences to understand like this is what I need to get back to even make it through this hood called adulthood.
But see, we were able to be children. The children right now, my last teaching experience was in Atlanta Public Schools, and I was teaching six-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And one of them had somewhat of a mental breakdown in the class.
Okay.
Worried about the test.
Okay.
Worried about the test.
Yeah.
Crying, pulling her hair. No, don't call. I say, I need to call your mother. No, don't call my mother. She wants me. I got to do better on the test. 6 years old.
Wow.
I was like, I cannot contribute to teaching just this test. I got to now find a way to be more of an asset or a resource to the youth than perpetuating that whole stressful. No 6-year-old should be worried about an exam at school to where they're crying and disoriented, discombobulated over passing a test.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing. Tell me one question or even an answer to one of the questions off that test that you took.
Can't tell you. That was so many years ago.
Was it the Iowa Test of Basic Skills when you took it?
Nah.
What was it called when you took it?
It was SAT.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one that they test us on to see our levels. And you're number 59 out of 89% of the percentile type of test. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember any of the questions?
Nah.
Have you utilized any of them?
Nah.
You feel me?
Oh, for sure.
So for 12 years of their life, they're programmed to just pass the test because of the powers that be that have either invested money into the schools and they want them now to exchange some type of deal with them using their products or their books.
Yeah. That's a money grab.
When you think about it, when I say it like that, it's kind of like our kids are guinea pigs.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000%.
And then we're wondering why. I said this earlier on the news. Channel 16, I think, was at the town hall meeting about youth jobs. There's 70 jobs that have been allocated to youth from the city of Jackson.
Okay.
We got thousands of youth, but only 70 jobs are available.
Wow.
Like you didn't know the summer was coming.
Yeah.
Summer's here tomorrow. The summer starts tomorrow. You got 70 jobs that you offering all the teams, Metro Jackson.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
It is.
You feel me? So they say hindsight is 20/20. What about insight, foresight? You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
So as we now approach the summer, what are the youth going to do? They don't have any place to go and have fun. But I'm going to scratch that. There are several people that have events and activities, but it's not on blast like that. No. Everybody don't know.
Thanks.
So it seems like the news or something would be showing these things, but
Is it bad? Is it because the marketing is bad? Or is it because the media is not really attracted to even like putting that out in the community like that?
Can I share with what one of my mentees shared with me?
Talk to me.
It's a 23-year-old man. He said we run to the negative first.
For sure.
Everybody. You know social media, you know enough about algorithms and insights and all that, right? We run to the negative first. And it's sad that we do, but we'd rather see that. We'll scroll past the summer camp and then be looking like, where's that summer camp? Where's that summer camp I saw? But you'll stay on somebody sliding by somebody's house, shooting somebody's house up. You'll watch that video 12 times.
That's a
see
fact.
who ducking and running. And so we have to, I love the title, we have to really apply the mental shampoo to our people because our people are being, any great thing is always attacked early.
Any great thing is always attacked early.
Any idea, any vision, any person, you're attacked early.
Why?
Because if they can kill it before you begin to give fruit, or before you begin to bear fruit.
Yes.
You can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears.
Correct.
First time you got paid for an idea. I know you didn't got paid for an idea. First time you said, I'm going to go do this and do whatever. I'm type something up, propose or whatever, and you got paid. That money was in your hand. The currency was in your bank account. Couldn't nobody tell you nothing out of that.
Not nothing.
Right? So I refused to go work a regular job or 9-to-5 job because I didn't made enough in one day that I can make in a month.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's something I experienced, right? But if I would have took the advice of people saying, how you gonna make money off that?
Yeah.
Like my dad. I love my dad. My dad's living. God bless. We just went fishing the other week. He told me up. But we were not so close for years.
Okay.
Just mom and dad divorced. He got remarried, and they were doing their thing. I was in sports and whatever. So we kind of missed each other from age 12, 13 up to the last few years. And so he literally said to me when I came back to Jackson, he said, somebody gave you a job? I said, I'm going to create me a job. He said, huh? I said, I'm going to make me a business and I'm going to make money. I'm going to find a need. I'm going to be the solution. I'm going to always get paid. He's looking at me kind of like a dog.
What you mean by that?
What you mean by that? But again, find a need, be the solution. You always get paid. We don't teach our children that.
I'm sure you are familiar because you are a heightened brother. But Dr. Miles Monroe talks heavy about that.
Yes.
Like finding a need or a problem and becoming a solution for that.
Are you familiar with Hog Island?
I'm not.
That's a Miles Monroe story.
Okay.
It was a part of the island that was destitute.
No, they turned it into like a Vegas type situation. Yeah. Okay. It's coming back.
How you look at it?
Yeah, perspective. Yes.
Jim Rohn.
Yes.
Says change the way you look at things, the thing you look at will change.
Will change.
Yeah, see, all that is in me. Those are my mentors, whether I met them or not.
For sure.
You know why? Because I'm accepting their knowledge. I'm accepting their wisdom. I'm letting it go into my mindset. I'm letting it be a mental shampoo to the way I was thinking prior to. I used to think that I had to do a lot by physical force or physical, gotta be there, gotta do it myself. But I've learned now to utilize, this is the most vital asset that we have.
And the crazy thing is, we don't even use all of our brain.
Wonder why?
You got an answer?
You really want me to answer?
Yeah, man.
Diamond-like perspective.
Okay.
At home, your parents' fears are forced upon you. If a baby climbing up a cabinet, about to be on top of the refrigerator, the kid, they start crying because you scared. You projected that fear on that child. You go to school. I remember a kid when I was growing up. What you want to be? Ooh, I want to be this. Ooh, a kid said, I want to be a police officer and a doctor.
Yeah.
And guess what the teacher told?
You got to pick one.
She said, you got to pick one. You can't do both of them. That's a lie.
Yeah.
So we have now, since birth, been limited in utilizing this. We've been told what to think instead of being taught how to think.
Yes.
Am I making sense?
For sure.
So in that, we only use a certain part because we don't let it develop. Why are there kids that can read at 1, 2 years old because the parents took time out at home and did it instead of waiting till that, well, they ain't got to go to school till pre-K. So you wasted all that precious time that a kid is absorbing everything.
Yes.
And he done sat back and watched everything, and that unlearned, that indirect learning behavior that I spoke of earlier.
Yes.
They soaking all this stuff up because they operate out of their environment.
Yeah.
They operate out of their experiences. We operate out of our environment.
Yeah.
And so now when you reaching an age and you trying to think outside the box, oh no, don't do that.
You
Don't
doing
look
too
at them.
much.
Don't look at strangers.
Yeah.
Don't talk to strangers. I talk to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
And me talking to everybody has got me some of my biggest deals. But I was taught, don't talk to everybody. Don't
Social
talk to
currency.
strangers. Yeah. I know a little something about that.
So
Yeah. Let me see. What's that from? That's from, don't tell me. Don't tell me. That is from Nipsey Hussle, the book that he was referring people to before he passed.
the marathon. Jonah Berger.
No.
Is that the one?
Yeah. What's the name of the
Or
book?
is also one Power versus Force. That's another one that he recommended.
What's the name of the book?
Power versus Force, but then the
It's
other
the
one,
orange book.
that's Jonah Berger. That's Contagious.
Contagious.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got that at the
That's
crib.
it. Yeah. Good book.
Amazing.
Awesome book.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what another good book is.
Talk to me.
Who Moved My Cheese?
I hear a lot about that book. I haven't read. Matter of fact, you told me about that book before, and a few other people over the years have told me, and I have yet to read it.
And one of the best books that I ever listened to or even read.
Can you give me a synopsis?
The Richest Man in Babylon.
I read that one.
Go back and listen to it again. I bet you it's like the Bible to me.
Okay.
Every time I listen to it, I get something different.
Okay. For sure. Can you give me like a rundown on Who Moved My Cheese? Like, what's that about?
Who Moved My Cheese is kind of like that old poem, and I don't want to mess it up, but I'm probably going to mess it up. Somebody was complaining that nothing had been done, and everybody was saying, oh, man, it's a shame. Somebody should do it.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody said, well, they going to do it, and they said that he going to do it. He said that she going to do it, but at the end, nobody did it type of thing.
Because everybody was waiting on somebody.
Really points to the fear of moving forward, the fear of the unknown, and what will happen if you don't or if you do. And there's several characters in there, so I don't want to spoil it for you, man.
Yeah,
that's that you got to take action.
Itself. Yeah, for sure.
You got to take action. You got to do what's best for you.
Okay.
Everybody's escape route is not your escape route, and you should always have an escape route, not to escape life, but just for the next thing. You said it. We don't use a certain amount of our brain because we have been taught not to use a certain. Brother, we're superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
We're superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
But we have been taught and we have been fed. We even been fed our fast. I heard this. I don't know if this is true. That every 500 years or so, they change our history.
Okay.
Now, what day am I talking about? I'm not talking about white people versus black people.
Right.
I'm talking about caste systems.
Okay.
I'm talking about the rich staying rich and the poor staying poor.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the true enemy.
Yeah.
You hear me?
For sure.
Great success is not a secret. It's a system.
Great success is not a secret.
It's a system.
It's a system.
Everything operates off a system. He got system. He has a systematic way of what he does.
Correct.
And you see the end result.
Yeah.
But you can see the end results. I can do this. I can get this. I can get that. I can get that. I can get that. And I'm going to get somebody to do what he don't. No. That's his system.
Yeah.
You understand? And there are patterns within the system that if you don't do those a certain way, you're not going to get the end result of your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the podcast, the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people look at stuff and they try to go copy it instead of copying the success of it from A to Z.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
You understand? So a lot of people have been kind of like pre-baked.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't left in the oven long enough. And they kind of like bleeding from trauma and drama and hurt. Bishop Jake said it years ago, leading while bleeding.
Leading while bleeding.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Because a lot of people will start something out of hurt, pain, and being backed in a corner, but it can't be 10 years later and you still acting like you're fighting out that corner.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because if you build anything business-wise, you want to scale up.
Mm-hmm.
So scaling up means I got to trust somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I got to trust somebody. You got to duplicate yourself several times. There's this old biblical principle. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and dominate.
Yeah.
There's a 0.5. And I don't know if we want to go down that rabbit hole. There's a 0.5 before each one. And I can give you the biggest example.
Let's go.
How can you be fruitful unless you plant a seed?
Correct.
Where does the seed come from?
A fruit.
No, I'm talking about you. He told man to be fruitful, multiply,
right,
replenish. That means you ran out. You got to go rest.
You got to go re-up.
You got to re-up, as they say in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says subdue and dominate.
Okay.
That means you got to infiltrate a certain market.
Okay.
And you got to make it tap out. Okay. And say, we see you in this industry. We see you as the new trucking company. We see you as the new lawyer. We see you, and then you can dominate.
Okay.
But you got to start off with what before you can be fruitful?
A seed.
A seed. Where the seed come from?
The man.
Seed come from you. I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about mental. The seed comes out your mind.
Got you. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So until you now can be the 0.5 before the 1 is be a seed. Mm-hmm. Then after being fruitful, what you got to do now? The 1.5. You got to generate.
Yeah.
You got to generate what? Whatever your product, your service, your invention, your entrepreneurship venture is, you got to now multiply that thing. And once you begin to multiply it, then you got to put it on autopilot. Put on autopilot means distribution. See, all these things are in between those 5. Nobody teaches us that. Go be fruitful.
Yo,
I'm going to be fruitful.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I know we talking mentorship, but you've been referring.
But this is what I'm teaching my mentors.
Listen,
my
mentees.
mentees.
You have been referring to this good book, and I just gotta ask. Is the Bible? What do you think the sole purpose of the Bible is? I'm curious to know your perspective and your thoughts.
Well,
because we talking about.
I don't want to get you counseled or nothing.
Hey man, I'm not gonna get counseled. But we talking about systematic things. We talking about spiritual things when it comes to that book, and just how to live in a certain perspective, or in a certain way, or following, a way of life, if you would. But like the 0.5, that's very intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just talked about a whole. I never looked at that like that. You know what I mean?
It's the teacher in me, though, being able to break down what I've learned to other people. It's the teacher in me that makes anything that I've learned how to be a better person that I want to teach someone else. So I just pulled it up. I got like 3,000 notes in my iPhone. I love iPhone. iPhone over Android, you heard me.
Believe that.
Anyway, the fruitful, you know what I'm saying? It says that you have to, first of all, create a seed.
Yeah.
I got everything written out because I've taught this workshop like 3 times, right? Then you fruitful, produce. Then you operate in the fruit, you multiply, then you generate, then you replenish, then you automate, put it on autopilot, and then you subdue. That's when you infiltrate, and then you dominate. That's when you master governance over the thing that you have put into a manifested vision.
Listen,
right?
man.
So I teach this with the reentry program that I do out of Memphis.
Yeah.
Great
program that you told me about before.
Yes.
When it comes to be fruitful and multiply, the average person, myself included, because of what's been taught in churches over the years, be fruitful and multiply comes from like, all right, he finds a wife, finds a good thing, and go out here and make these babies.
He told Adam that before he had a child. Before he had a woman, he told Adam.
Yeah, you got to work.
Yeah, you got to work.
Yeah,
he had something to offer her.
All right.
So licensed and ordained, did ministry for 8 years in Atlanta. I was known as Preacher Severe. That's how I got bitten by the music bug.
I didn't know you was ordained minister.
Yeah. So I have music out there under Preacher Severe, Music Monsters, all that kind of stuff. Got one on my YouTube page, Another Like Me, telling everybody to be the best version of you. Don't let someone make you into a representative of who you think you should be, type of thing. So, I use music as a tool again. It was just a tool to reach youth.
Hey, the music is definitely one of the greatest mediums to use to reach the youth, for real.
Where does it go? Where does the music go? It goes in here, and then it comes out of here.
Oh, I thought you were about to go here.
It goes into your mind.
Okay.
It goes into your mind, but you listen to it.
Yeah.
And then you put it on repeat.
Okay. And then it becomes like an affirmation.
And then you're saying it out your mouth.
Yeah.
And then you're hearing it again as you say it out your mouth.
And
so you got on
here.
repeat. You got on repeat. So when somebody messing with you, outside of the club, you think I'm a punk, go to the Chevy and a pop the truck. Yeah.
And you acting out what you
acting out
about.
what you hearing.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with our youth right now.
Yeah, man.
So until we get in front of them and say, hey man, be the need, find a need, be the solution, you always get paid, and put that on repeat and let that compete with that foolishness, we're going to continue to fail our children.
Oh, man.
It takes a village that has a tribe in it, not just a village with just a bunch of empty huts.
It takes a village that has a tribe in it.
Yes.
You talking spicy, bro. That's like a next level to that whole statement.
They keep saying it takes a village. We got villages all over Jackson.
And you know
but
what?
The people won't tribe up.
That's perfect. Because my next question I was going to ask you was, especially being a brother helping the young brothers out, why do you think most other brothers don't necessarily assist with young brothers?
You really want the truth about it?
I want the truth, man.
Okay. Well, first of all, you asked me about the Bible. Can we backtrack a little bit?
Let's do that.
The Bible is full of symbolism and
Metaphors.
stories and metaphors and similes.
Yes, sir.
We have made it an official history book, and it's not a history book.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's just an basic instruction before leaving Earth.
Leave Earth, yeah.
I truly believe, love thy neighbor as you love thyself.
True.
I truly believe that God would do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ever ask or think according to the power that worketh in us. What's that power? Unity.
Mm.
There's an undeniable force when people become unified.
Mm.
You ever seen the movie Marshall? The football team, and they didn't want to practice. Okay, what about the one with Denzel in it? What's the one where he took the kids out in the woods and made them work together? Remember the Titans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you remember whenever there's a unified, even the Malcolm X movie, where Malcolm does this, and everybody move, and that's a powerful moment. You feel a flush, right?
Classic scene.
Because there's power in unity. Whenever we even see unification, where we see a football team walking out, busting out the thing, you say, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel when you see the band playing together, marching band, oh, wow, they in unison. Whenever you see the cues stepping, it's in unison, right? Mm-hmm. There's always a power in unity in people. That's why the Muslims feel like they right. Mm-hmm. That's why the Christians feel like they right. Mm-hmm. And if you want to be biblically correct, they first called them Christians in Antioch, so we weren't even called Christians. So
that's
it's really,
fact. Yeah.
It's really just like somebody saying y'all niggas, and now you saying you calling yourself a nigga because they called you a nigga first.
There you go.
Oh, see, I done started something.
Hey man, light the fire.
I'm just trying to help somebody.
Light the fire.
I'm just trying to help somebody.
Right though.
You feel what I'm saying? So we got to be careful what names we put upon ourselves.
That's correct.
So to be Christ-like means to be anointed. To be anointed means that you done went through a roughing and an agitator type of diamond being from the cold. Pressure does two things. It either busts pipes or creates diamonds. So I chose the diamond-like perspective to portray the role of mentorship because what you're doing as a mentor is helping a young person or even an older person, because I got some young people that are mentoring me too. Mm-hmm. It's not about age. It's about the wisdom and experience and the thing that you're trying to obtain or that you're trying to master. Mm-hmm. So when I'm going through the pressure of not understanding, I need a mentor to show me the way. Mm-hmm. That helps me develop and polish me into that diamond instead of me just staying a lump of coal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, knowledge is the first thing. A lot of people knock Kanye. I saw him on Drink Champs. Mm-hmm. He said knowledge, water, food, and shelter. Those are the four most important things. Mm-hmm. He said knowledge first. Mm-hmm. The people perish because of lack of knowledge. The people perish because of a vision. Why would the biblical text that everyone say they believe and love God and they worshiping an external God when the God that we looking for is on the inside of each one of us? Yeah. You say that you love God, but then you treat your brother and sister like they crap. Yeah. You understand? So he say because of lack of knowledge and because of lack of a vision. Whose vision? AT&T? No. Your vision. Every person's supposed to have a vision. Yeah. This right here makes you a better person. You know why? It does. You know why this podcast makes you a better person?
Why so?
Because you got something that you created out of your mind that you now see the fruit of. This is your seed. Mm-hmm. This is one of your seeds. Mm-hmm. This is one of your seeds.
Oh, for sure.
You was somewhere at home, somewhere at the coffee shop saying, I'm going to do mental shampoo. Mm-hmm. It kept aggravating you, right? Mental shampoo. You have to put that seed in the dirt. Mm. You have to sit down with the gentleman that's filming us, and you have to tell him what you wanted. He had to tell you how much the investment would be. Mm-hmm. Investment in who? Yourself. Mm-hmm. See, we invest in everybody and everything else but ourselves.
Correct.
And until you invest in yourself and see the fruit of your labor, you really ain't tapped into who you really are. Your mind expands the more that you realize that you are just a form of God here in the earth, spirit in your body. This is earth suit. Spirit will live forever.
Earth suit. Yeah.
The spirit will live forever. Matter of fact, and those that are watching, how many of you realize that you've been here longer and know more than you should know? You don't even remember learning some things because your spirit is never going to die. Yeah. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Who is the Lord? The Lord is a spirit. What you mean? God is a spirit. You worship him in spirit and truth. Mm-hmm. How can you worship God the best? By being the vessel that he created you to be. When he manufactured you, dropped his spirit in you, are you doing what you were manufactured to be? Mm. That's why we got carnage. That's why we got all this chaos. That's why we got this whole discombobulated nation right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you Democrat? Oh, you Republican?
Yeah, there you go.
They're all the same thing.
Uh-huh.
They're all the same thing.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, did I go too far down the rabbit hole?
You cooking. I like it. I like this. I like shaking the table. So, yeah, you ain't doing nothing wrong.
So, when I say mentorship,
yeah,
imagine every politician, every doctor, every lawyer, every police officer, every military officer, every teacher, every butcher, baker, candlestick maker. Imagine every one of them had an apprenticeship or internship program.
Whew. Game changer. Game changer.
AKA mentorship.
AKA mentorship. Nice way to bring it home.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we know that solution, if we know that's the answer, why are we resisting it? Because some people are benefiting off the problem.
They go back to what I was asking you about why brothers don't necessarily want to show up for young brothers. Because some brothers will put the call out there, but not necessarily show up.
That word role model years ago, I think messed some people up.
Okay.
Man, I still smoke, man. I still drink, man. I still in the booty club. I can't mentor nobody.
Yeah. That boy Tupac said, I'm a real model, not a role model.
Somewhere along the line, we thought we had to be perfect. Nobody's perfect until they identify with what their purpose is. Once you identify with your purpose, that makes you come home at night. That makes you stop drinking, smoking, whatever your vice may be.
Damn.
All that stuff that you're trying to do. Once you discover your purpose, we call it your chief aim.
Okay.
And I do this when I tell the kids, your chief aim, what are you shooting for?
Young Archer.
Yeah. Like I'm shooting for the target. That's what, see, sin is really defined missing the mark, right? What mark? Press toward the mark of the prize of the high calling of God, which is in Christ Jesus. What is that? Jesus believed so much in who he was and what he did that he even went to the cross. He died for what he believed in. And see, they've been teaching and preaching this wrong. That's why I say it's metaphors and it's similes. And once you see yourself in that Bible, once you see yourself on the way to a podcast and you interviewing somebody that you know that the world gonna want to see and take your numbers up, all of a sudden the car messing up, the girlfriend tripping, all this stuff going on, you count it all joy because you fall into all kind of diverse temptations, trials and tribulations. Because something, you see, that's why we call them snags. Me and my wife Lisa, shout out to my wife Lisa. Lisa Foster, I love you, baby.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna squeeze your booty when I get home.
There you go.
And so at the end of the day, we have been taught to be on the safe road and safe mode.
Yeah.
Instead of putting on our super cape and be superhuman.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm glad you invited me to this because I've been on podcasts and stuff. People started knocking me on the table like, don't talk about that. That's the problem. We're not just not talking about it. We're not taking action from what we learned.
Correct.
What have we learned? We learned to betray each other. We learned to put out there that men ain't nothing but dogs, that you can't trust a woman. We didn't put all this stuff out here, and we all being fed all of it through this right here, social media. This the new TV, this the new radio, this the new broadcast system, and we're being programmed every day.
I ain't gonna hold you, beloved. I even thought about like going to like the Garvey mentality, what he was able to do back then, bro. Like, get his message across and get members to be a part of what he was developing all across the nation and abroad.
And what happened to him?
They
Oh, I'm going somewhere. Every great leader. Every great leader was infiltrated from within and destroyed.
You're right. My point is, you're right. But my point is, like, I've been considering, and I know Kim, my producer over there, disagree, and I got some other friends that may disagree. But I want to go off the grid and build and see what that would look like. Go within my Rolodex of people that I know, still capture what I need to capture, but not necessarily be on social media, if you would. Because, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, for real, for real. You know
because
what I mean?
You are censored on so many levels.
Yeah. And certain things, like Ken was showing me some phenomenal work that he's doing and how the algorithm just kind of messes that up.
Yeah.
You know, it's great work from the brother.
I have 10,000. Go ahead.
Even just like certain topics that I may touch on the shows or whatever the case, it doesn't get the eyes on it how it needs
to.
So
I'm going to show you this, and I don't know.
But even beyond that.
I don't know if they can see it. Look at that. You see that?
Oh, no, that's great.
That's for this month, right?
That's good.
But I can go on live right now, and they're not going to send out a notice that I'm on live.
Yeah.
I'm in good standing.
That was 428,000 views.
428K. I don't know if y'all can see
Yeah.
that from here. I don't know if Ken can do his magic or whatever. But 428K.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make it bigger or whatever. 428K, and that's just
In
going
this
into
month.
the first of this month.
That's crazy.
And so I'm monetized on social media, but the more you grow, the more they limit you. And it's a trick. So when you first go live, right, they're going to show it to 10 to 20% of your people. So if it's me and Ken and there are 8 other people, depending upon how we respond to your post, whether we like it, love, share, comment, whatever, it's going to show it to another pool of people outside of the algorithm. So it's like a ring, like in a tree. Like when you cut a tree and you see the rings of how old it is. Okay, so that's how the algorithm works. And so if your people are not necessarily responding or reacting, it's going to limit you in how it expands the algorithm. So we have to learn how to disrupt the algorithm. And I tried with several groups of people on social media. Hey, y'all, whenever you post, I'm going to make sure me and some of my friends go like your stuff. And when you do it, do the same. No.
Yeah.
So there's something there that we got to get past. When you're talking about going off the grid and seeing what that looks like, there's something that you can go there and be and built everything, and somebody come there and start trying to mess up everything because they feel like they know. Everybody want to be the cook until it's time for them to go buy the food.
All right, there you go. Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
But listen, like even beyond that though, like I know for me personally, I've been practicing like being on social media for 2 weeks, then I deactivate for 2 weeks because mentally it'd be draining for me. You know what I mean?
What are you trying to accomplish with it?
You know, that's a good question. That's something I don't necessarily have an answer for right now.
So it's always good to look at data, right? Like we have this 21 question survey for the political leaders of Jackson, right?
Send me that.
In 2 weeks, right? I've gotten 36 responses, and I know thousands of people have saw it.
For sure.
Some people are scared to respond. Other people just don't want to get involved, but you'll complain about it all day. So I use social media for advertisement and trying to get the word out about solutions and opportunities and resources, right?
Yeah.
So when you ask yourself, what do you use social media for? You got to ask yourself, am I doing it for entertainment? Or am I using it for my business? Or am I using it for whatever? Because if not, you can get sanctioned by anybody saying that they can put you on restrictions and all that just from somebody reporting your page.
Yeah.
Now check this. Facebook is the number one.
Yep.
With social media. And then WhatsApp is next. A lot of people don't know that. WhatsApp is next with messaging and video calls and conferencing. So that's an option for you to be able to go on WhatsApp and create a group and have some conversations there. And that's something that you could probably talk about offline together.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about it.
But we don't want to tell y'all our business.
You feel me?
Because I don't trust all y'all. Especially you with the little beady eyes that's watching.
Listen, man. Oh, man, this has been it's been amazing, my brother. I really appreciate you, Brother Benny.
Man, I appreciate you.
You know what I mean?
I just recommended you somebody there. I'll tell you about it.
Oh, bet.
They say when your name's being spoken in rooms you're not in, you
come on. That's love.
Hey.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
But amazing brother to know, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing amazing work regarding mentorship to young men and just in the city of Jackson and abroad. Like the brother's everywhere. Every time I see him out, he working on something. My man's is working on something, and it's very motivational and inspiring to me, brother. Just thought I should verbally let you know that it's very inspiring.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah, and that's his thing too. Salute. So it's been fun, man. Season 3 of Mental Shampoo. It's been an amazing ride. I didn't even let Benny know, but this will be the season finale. This right here is the season finale of the show. And what a way to end the show with a bang, to go out there and mentor somebody. Find you something that you love. Get people around you to that you can teach and show that to. And that right there is mentorship. It's really as simple as that. It may not be easy, but it's simple. Okay? Get out there, thrive, live, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Learn to love yourself more so that you can love your neighbor better. All right? I've had fun with y'all, man, this season, and looking forward to seeing you on the other side of the internet. If you see me, don't be afraid to speak. You understand? My name is Kimar Cain, coming to you all the way live, your favorite country cousin, your favorite Mississippian, and your best friend. But before we get out of here, Brother Bennie, I want you to look into this camera right here, and I want you to say any bit of last encouraging words and where they can find you on social media and contact information.
Bennie Foster on Facebook, Bennie Foster, your mentorship coach, or Open House Vision on TikTok and Instagram. And in the bio or in the about info, you will be able to find links to websites, the 21 question survey, music, YouTube, all that good stuff. Also, we Open House Vision on YouTube. We're building that channel. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, you are only as big as you think. Think big.
Simple and plain. Think big, man. Look, back at it again. Peace and blessings. Love and respect. Season 3 Mental Shampoo. Maintain and remain sane. It's Kimar Cain.
Mental Shampoo is recorded and produced at KD Creative Arts Media Studio in Jackson, Mississippi. If you're interested in taking your video and audio quality to the next level, reach out to the people here at KD Creative Arts Media Studio. If you want to grow and monetize your podcast, this is the place to be. Visit kdcreativearts.com today.